We are an endangered species on this planet at this point. And I'm so empathetic, and a lot of people that this channel resonates with will be able to relate to this because of the type of channel this is. But I feel what we're going through as a people collectively so strongly that I sit every day and wonder about what I can do to help bring about the change I want to see. And the thing is, there are so many issues plaguing us as a community, as a people, that you really just have to slow down and zero in on one thing at a time. And a big one that I experienced firsthand that concerns me the most, because I could tell you about like moringa leaf powder, Irish sea moss and the properties of iron, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, what pH stands for, the potential for hydrogen ion concentration, and what it all means towards your biochemistry, your overall health. But what good is it for you to go on a fast, for you to do an alkaline water fast detox and do all this shit, and then you get gunned down in your own neighborhood by one of your peers that you went to school with or some shit? That seems to be a more pressing issue, even though more people are definitely dying from colon cancer, heart attacks, diabetes. But this is just because of my peers, because of my youngins out here. They getting brainwashed and hypnotized with we normalizing murder. That shouldn't ever happen. I'm a gangster, just like anybody else. I'm gonna defend myself. I go hard, but murder shouldn't be normalized, though, y'all. This is something that should be such a rare occurrence that we are appalled and shocked when we hear that shit. I feel like we hear about murder so much in America that we've become desensitized to that shit. It's normal. We don't even feel a reaction no more. We hear like so and so got killed. We were like, oh yeah. It ain't one of like, oh my God and all this and that. Nah, like, so I asked myself, what do I do to stop this? And I guess a lot of people not using their words anymore. A lot of people aren't even able to articulate. A lot of people don't really want to talk about what's really bothering them. So then they end up getting caught up in these gangs of the streets, and they behaving in a way that says that like really you just hurt, really you just afraid and scared. Like we all need to like a lot of times what people have been through, it'll take lifetimes to heal from. Just being honest, right? But talking about the shit we going through, properly medicating ourselves, because it ain't nothing wrong with weed if you use it in moderation. You just supplement. But you can't sit there and become lethargic and paralyze yourself all day because you're so hurt that you want to be numb from the shit you done gone through. Because we have been through so much in our own lives, just growing up in the projects, in the hood, in the streets, drugs, liquor stores, and just poverty, people breaking in, and just hopelessness. I understand that. Seeing our family members get abused, us suffering abuse ourselves. But that doesn't mean that we have to let ourselves become shitty people. We have to lead shitty ass lives. You know what I mean? We don't have to suppress that hurt. It's constructive ways we can go about handling our trauma and shit. And that's what I really want to reach out to all the real gangsters, for real. Like I know them. I've been around them. And a lot of them niggas, they sensitive for when you talk to them, or when you doing a bid with a nigga and niggas get emotional. You know what I'm saying? And that's like, we taught as males to suppress our emotions and shit like that, but that's toxic as fuck. It's literally toxic, meaning it's going to poison your blood. I read a book called Your Word Is Your One by this lady named Florence Scovel Shinn. And she talked about in that book how there's a corresponding biological effect for every emotion. Like if you holding a grudge, it causes your arteries to constrict. Like your like being mad makes your blood vessels contract and shit, and like your joints, what you'll have rheumatoid arthritis from holding a grudge for too long and shit, for just years. This shit was deep as fuck, and I'm just like, people not even aware of this shit. But I want to just really have a conversation with niggas like, y'all, let's keep it 1,000 right now, right? I'm a gangster too, right? So number one, Bloods and Crips in America and shit, let's talk about it, right? This might be a long one. I hope they let me upload this shit. But Bloods and Crips, if you not from Compton and these Crenshaw and these niggas hoods, first of all, we banging hoods we ain't never been to. That's like a nigga claiming Hudson Docket or Orly West and Valdosta, and he ain't never been in the projects. We gonna be like, that's weird as fuck. This nigga banging Hudson Docket, Orly West. Mind you, Hudson Docket and Orly West probably not even named after black people. It's probably named after some racist ass white folks and shit. But we claiming this shit, banging this shit with pride. Just how niggas be banging streets that they don't own, or this ain't like, you know, but I understand we've been stripped from our original sense of identity, so we need something to attach to, some sense of belonging and an identity. So, but that's the conversation I want to have about who we really are, you know, and what's really going on, and like snap us out of it. Cause it's like, y'all, we tripping. Like, yeah, we psyched out. Like, I understand we might have blacked out and psyched out for the last, seems like, you know what I'm saying, 30 years or something. Like, this shit just been getting progressively worse with gangster rap and hip hop and just drugs. New drugs is being flooded, the dark web, more and more guns and shit, like in you know. So, but we killing our own, right? When the original war, if you look at history, it wasn't us against ourselves. You know what I'm saying? You got to find your tribe. Even in Africa, when the little tribes were warring, like, but boy, you was fucking with your tribe. You weren't killing people in your own tribe. You weren't warring with the man that stay in the hut next to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, in the same village. Like, y'all tripping, for real. I'm talking about the Black Gangster Disciple Nation was one. Was meant to be one. And now we killing each other over BD and GD. Like, the Bloods and Crips was meant to protect the neighborhoods. All them old OG ass niggas right now screaming for peace. They original blueprint, they was young and dumb too at one time. They realizing like, oh shit, we didn't know we was gonna affect the whole fucking wave generation after this. Like, nah, we originally started with pure intentions. We went on some like, yeah, let's form a little clique where we go kill other niggas and shit. And it was never that. But it done downgraded just into that. Into some, you know, and it's so serious. Life is such a miracle. It's like we just throwing away life. And we don't know the real dark side of everything, what's going on. Because if you knew, that'll make you want to change. That'll snap niggas out of it if they see what's happening to their organs after they die and shit. And who profits off of that and all that type of shit there. Yeah. We just need to have a conversation. So, Hood Therapy, I'll be here waiting for you when you're ready to have that conversation.